Hi everyone, and welcome to your MeToWe Trips Virgin Atlantic India Welcome webinar. We're so excited to have you traveling with us this summer. So before we get started, I just want to go over some webinar tips with everyone. I'm sure you can imagine we have a lot to cover in this presentation, so I just want to share some tips that will really help you get the most out of this webinar. So first of all, I would suggest that everyone please be taking notes. So please go grab a pen and paper and take down notes of any questions you may have throughout the presentation or anything that you think would be important to remember. Secondly, I would encourage everyone to invite your family to watch the presentation with you as they will be one of your biggest supports for your trip to India with us. And lastly, if you ever have any questions about the presentation or about your trip, please feel free to contact myself or my team at any time. So that being said, I first of all wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jasmine and I'm a trip coordinator on the client experience team. I will be coordinating your trip to India with us this summer. I have extensive knowledge in coordinating our trips to all our destinations that MeToWe travels to, and I'm also a MeToWe trip facilitator. I have had the opportunity to facilitate youth, just like yourselves, in Nicaragua, Ecuador, and the Amazon. I can say firsthand that this trip that you're going to be going on is so impactful, and you have such a wonderful opportunity to experience a new culture, challenge yourself, develop your leadership skills, and be on a trip with like-minded individuals who are passionate about the same issues as you. So I'm super excited to have you in India with us this summer. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or our team here at MeToWe. So before we get started, I just want to go over the agenda for today. I'll be going over the We movement, some facts about India, steps to ensure that you're getting started in planning for your trip, and then what you'll need to be doing before you depart on your adventure. So first of all, to go over We movement, I wanted to let you know that we as an organization dedicated to empowering people to change the world and is comprised of two parts, We Charity and MeToWe. We Charity creates sustainable impact through domestic programs like We Schools and internationally through We Villages. MeToWe, our social enterprise, creates products and experiences that allow people to do good through their everyday choices. Half of all of MeToWe's profits are donated to support We Charity, while the other half is reinvested to grow the mission of the social enterprise. MeToWe trips are about making a meaningful impact both at home and abroad. In the next few slides, we're going to talk about some of the things that will make your trip unique, such as the opportunity to volunteer, immerse yourself in a new culture, and develop your voice as a leader. But before we get started, I wanted to go over the We Villages model. You'll be able to see this firsthand in action on your trip to India in their We Villages that we operate there. The We Villages model is a sustainable development model comprised of 5 pillars: education, water, health, food and opportunity. I would encourage everyone to visit the we.org website and learn more about the We Villages, its pillars, and the work that we're doing in India to familiarize yourself with some of the projects that are ongoing. I want to take some time now to go over our top priority on your trip, safety. MeToWe has taken more than 10,000 youth on trips overseas since 2002 without major incident. We take serious measures and precautions to ensure your safety from the moment that you sign up for your trip to the moment that you return home. You can see some of our safety measures we have in place on your screen, but additionally, we have an entire team dedicated to ensuring the safety of our trips and travelers, which is our risk management team. If you have any further questions about safety, please feel free to reach out to any member of our team and we'll be happy to help you. A question that many of you ask is about our communication policy and what this looks like on your trip. Upon arrival in India, your emergency contacts will receive a safe arrival email letting them know that you've been picked up from the airport and that you're on your way to your accommodations. Within 24 hours, you will have the opportunity to send a personal email to your family. From then, your emergency contacts will receive updates from your trip facilitators every 3 to 4 days. We do our best to include a photo in the updates, but the internet connection is limited. You're allowed to bring a cell phone on your trip to use as a music player or camera, but your SIM cards will be collected once you're in country. The reason for a communication policy is to ensure that you're fully immersed in your trip and are able to disconnect from technology. Our India trips are really special, special to Me the We for several reasons. We Charity has been working in India since 1998, and we have developed really unique relationships with the communities we work with, allowing you to really immerse yourself in your trip. To start off the presentation, we're gonna go through some fun facts about where you're gonna be traveling so you have a better idea of the culture and the community you'll be spending time in. So when you travel with us in India, you'll be traveling in the province of Rajasthan, specifically spending time in the northwest region of Udaipur in our We Villages communities. India has two official languages, which are English and Hindi. Once you arrive, you'll be able to do some language lessons with our cultural facilitators to kind of break that barrier with community members who only speak Hindi. However, I would encourage everyone to search and Google some simple Hindi words that you can have in your back pocket and to communicate with our staff in India and with community members. An easy one would be hello, which in Hindi is namaste. When you travel in India, you will have the opportunity to volunteer on a project as part of a sustainable change in partnership with a local community. While on your trip, you will see our We Villages model in action. About a month before your trip, you will find out which community you'll be volunteering in. Once you arrive at your community, you'll find out which project you will be working on, which is really exciting. By working alongside community members and immersing yourself in the daily lives of community members, you will have the opportunity to learn through community interaction and go beyond the statistics of social justice issues. This is the opportunity to be an active traveler. With your group and facilitators, you'll have the chance to fully understand the new culture, important issues, and local way of life. You will receive your trip itinerary about a month before your trip, but some activities that you will participate in will include a water walk in the community, yoga lessons, and Hindi lessons. Our trips are also a chance to dive deep into issues that you're passionate about. Your facilitators will be leading activities throughout your trip to develop your voice as a leader and give you the tools you need to continue this experience through the impacts you make back at home. Finally, what makes these experiences so impactful are each and every one of you. Your trip will be full of like-minded individuals and passionate individuals who are there to support you and help you with your action plan when you come back home and to further your passions in making a positive change. Once you have returned home, you'll be part of a network that you can rely on and engage on to encourage lifelong active global citizenship. Now that we've talked about a little bit about your trip, let's talk about next steps in getting ready to head off to your adventure and the things that you should be working on in completing in the next week. Some of you may have already started these items, but if you haven't, in the next week, please look into completing your application online, sign your waivers, purchase your insurance, upload a copy of your passport if you haven't already. These are super important to complete in the next week. So everyone should have received a login to our online portal. Portal is a way for you to stay on track with completing the necessary trip items and learning more about your trip. Make sure that you log into Portal throughout the months leading up to your trip to ensure that you are on track with being ready to go. As a reminder, your username is your email. And if you have forgotten your password, just click on Forgot Password, the link above the login button to reset your password. Parents with travelers who are under the age of 18, you should also receive your own portal login once we receive your email details. So now I'm going to go over a few things on our portal that you can access. When you log in, you will see a notification section, as well as a participant checklist on the right-hand side. This is where you'll be able to ensure that you're up to date with items you need to have complete. When you click on the checklist items, a drop-down menu will appear with links to help you complete outstanding items such as uploading your passport. Another great area to check is under the Resource tab. Here you'll be able to access trip-specific documents such as packing lists, visa guides, and more. Right now you'll have you won't have most of those items up, but closer to your trip departure date, those items will be uploaded as our team receives them. You'll also see there's an FAQ section at the top where you can find out answers to many common questions specific to your destination. So if you ever have any questions, you can always check there for a quick answer. Now, the first step to complete on your portal is your application, which is due on Monday, May 6th. So you can complete your application at any time before this date. And if you can't complete it by May 6th, please let me know and we can always make some accommodations. If there's a section that you can't complete, such as the insurance section because you don't have those details yet, feel free to leave it blank and submit your application, because you can always go back and edit any section of your application at any time and resubmit it to our team. So once you've completed your online application, our team receives a notification and will be sending out your online trip waivers to be signed. If you're 18 and older, they will be sent to your email address. And if you're under the age of 18, they'll be sent to your parent or guardian's email address. The waivers will be sent using an online electronic signature program called DocuSign about 48 hours after you submit your application. You simply review the documents, insert your full signature and initials in the required spots, and submit it back to us through DocuSign. If you're unable to find the waivers in your inbox, please check your junk mail folder as well. Another important item on your checklist to complete is uploading a copy of your passport on Portal. In order to travel internationally, you will need to ensure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months after you return home from your trip. Your passport must be valid, therefore, until at least February 16, 2020. If you have already submitted a copy of your passport to our team, no worries. We'll have this reflected on your account within the next day or two. So in order to go on your trip, please ensure that you are uploading a copy or sending our team a copy of your passport, specifically the page with your photo and passport details. And if you're renewing your passport and you can upload your old passport in the meantime, please do so. And then you can always upload your new copy when you receive it. You are also going to be required to purchase insurance for your trip. You're required to have medical emergency, travel delay, and missed flight insurance for your trip. We also recommend baggage loss, damage, and delay insurance to protect your belongings. We do not have an insurance partner in the UK. However, some of our past participants have used Bubba Global Travel Insurance and have chosen policies such as the basic and non-medical packages. You can also visit your local post office for an insurance packages that includes the mandatory coverages mentioned before. And if you ever have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to assist you. If you do purchase an insurance package with trip cancellation insurance, the estimated cost of your trip is about £3,500. I know many of you are excited to meet other travelers that you'll be traveling with to India. So we've created the Meet the We Trips Facebook group for you to get to know each other, ask questions, and for us to share some updates about your trip in Meet the We. The link to join this Facebook group can be found in your welcome email. All you have to do is click the email and request to join, and our team will usually accept you to join the group within 24 hours. So I'm sure your trip kind of seems a bit far away from now since it's in the summer. However, there are a few items I want to go over that you'll need to complete in the next month or so to prepare for your trip, such as visiting the travel doctor, obtaining your visa, watching your pre-departure session, and packing. So it's really important that you make an appointment with a travel doctor before your trip. Meet the We is unable to provide you with any guidance on what medication or vaccines you should take while traveling with us since we're not medical professionals. Most travel doctors will see you about 6 to 8 weeks before your trip leaves. Sometimes the wait times can be several weeks long depending on your travel doctor's availability. So I would encourage everyone to make an initial appointment in the next few weeks. When you visit your travel doctor, please let them know that you'll be traveling in the province of Rajasthan in the northwest regions of Udaipur. They will be able to provide you with vaccines and medication recommendations specific for your trip and based on your medical history. All participants will need to apply for an Indian tourist visa for their trip. Please note that Meet the We cannot apply for your visa on your behalf. The application must be filled out and submitted by you. Although I will be here to answer any questions you may have, ensuring it is accurately completed and all follow-up is your sole responsibility. With that being said, we have provided you with the information that you need to apply for your visa in your welcome email and on your portal account. So please take the time to look over these. I've also included the date in which you need to apply for your visa or in which you can start applying for your visa. And not to worry, I'll be here to give you plenty of reminders on when you should be applying and when would be the last day to apply for your visa. If you don't have a British passport, please let me know as soon as possible via email so we can make sure that if you need any additional support or documentation to apply for your visa, our team can give you that. Also, if you are of Pakistani descent or ancestry, even if you have a British passport, please let our team know as soon as possible because you may also require additional steps in applying for your visa, and we want to ensure that we get on top of that as soon as possible. So you can find a copy of your packing list in the welcome package, which you can find under the resource tab on your portal account and in the welcome package attachment in your welcome email. But I wanted to highlight a few items that are important to take note of early on. We recommend that you pack and use as your main store luggage a hiking backpack or a duffel bag or day bag, about 40-60 liters. Now, it can be bigger than this. We only recommend this because we want you to be able to carry your bag. This will act as your main checked luggage for your trip. I would also recommend that you ask a friend or family member before going and purchasing one. You'll also be allowed to bring a carry-on bag on your trip, and we ask that you bring a day bag for this or a school-sized backpack. This way, you'll be able to use it every day for your different activities and take all the items that you need. Another thing that I wanted to highlight was that the water used for drinking is filtered and in big jugs on your trip and filter purified water. So please make sure you're bringing a reusable water bottle so you can fill up and stay hydrated throughout your trip. And I also want to highlight that you'll be provided with all the building equipment, such as safety glasses, steel toe footwear, gloves, when you arrive for your build site. However, if you want to bring your own, you're more than welcome to. So certain travel and incidental costs are not covered by your opportunity. Each student who receives a place on the trip is responsible for covering his or her own costs for certain incidental, including passports, visas, vaccinations, insurance, and spending money. Again, if you require any connecting flights to meet the group flight in London, or even any additional transportation, this will be your responsibility to cover these costs. In July, we'll be hosting another webinar called a pre-departure presentation, which we will be going over your trip itinerary, where you're going to be staying, your facilitators, and more. So this presentation, pardon me, will be on June 3rd at 7 p.m., not July. So please mark it on your calendar that June 3rd at 7 p.m. UK time, we'll be hosting a live online webinar presentation. So I know we have gone over a lot of information tonight, but here are some things that you need to complete in the next week. It's important that you complete your application, sign your waiver, send us a copy of your passport if you haven't, purchase insurance, or provide those details on your application if you have it already, and to read the India visa information package very carefully. So that concludes our welcome webinar. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me either via email or over the phone. I'm more than happy to answer all your questions to ensure that you're feeling prepared and excited for your trip. And please remember again that the online live pre-departure webinar presentation will be June 3rd, that's a Monday, at 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you very much.